What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody today, episode 105. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. It's a little hectic out here in New York. You know, they got these UN people out here causing up traffic and shit. I mean, you know, but the Giants 2-0, man, so I can't complain, man. But, you know, we'll see how long it lasts, man.
I was gonna say, are you happy with the way they've started the year?
Yeah, but you know, I still think we got a long way to go. Despite being 2-0, I don't think we're gonna go like, you know, 11-5 or something ridiculous like that. I think it's gonna play itself out throughout the season. I mean, like they say in the group chats, a lot of football to be played. So
yeah, there is. I mean, it's always nice to start 2-0, even if you might be the worst 2-0 team there is. But 2-0 is 2-0, my friend. Take it when you can get it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was against your Panthers, but hey, another close game, another missed field goal. I mean, ultimately, I like what I'm seeing from the coaching staff. Despite the lack of talent, they're still in games. Offensively, we got a lot of work to be done, man. If it's not Daniel Jones, it's these receivers. I mean, we talked about it a little bit before. You know, Galloway and Tony. I mean, they just not doing nothing, man. I don't know. I'm guessing they don't fit the system, or I was never high on them before, but pretty much from the season, I mean, we're going to be in a whole new market for receivers as well.
Yeah, but like you said, I think that the fact that Daboll can take them and get buy-in and even, you know, eke out a couple wins here early on is a good sign on the coaching staff.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. It's just so many holes we have to fill. I mean, you can't be too hyped for being 2-0 and thinking, you know, we're going to go to the Super Bowl or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just so much we got to do. But I like the fact that we can win games against teams that I like the middle of the crop teams that we can beat. Even though Tennessee was more of a playoff team last year, but I like the fact that we're competing. The scores are close despite the lack of the defensive talent we have. Like I said, the coaching staff is doing a great job. So I'm just looking forward to them filling up the pieces and putting it all together.
Yep. No, I agree.
And then on the other side, man, we had your Jets, man. They came from behind and then they beat the Browns, man. How excited were you, man, when they came back and beat them, man?
I've learned to not get overly excited until the game is over. But it was one of those things that normally you see happen against the Jets. So it was nice to be on the other side of that for you know, the rare occasion. But yeah, it felt like one of those games that once Flacco hit Davis for the long touchdown, it was almost like you felt the onside kick was going to be recovered. And again, Chubb could have ended the game, and he came out, you know, yesterday or the day before and had said basically that he just went down there instead of scoring the touchdown. He you know, the game's over. But obviously hindsight's 2020. He didn't think that they'd come down and score, you know, 14 points in less than 2 minutes. So yeah, I was happy to see. You know, it was a win that they needed. I think that it gives them some momentum, and you know, they can now ride, you know, Flacco another week or two until Wilson's 110%. So good to see. But it probably shouldn't have gotten to that point. But it is what it is. So win's a win.
Yep. Boy, Flacco playing himself into another backup role, backup contract. I mean, looking like the old Flacco from the Super Bowl. It's amazing what he how up and down he is.
I mean, it's just he's good for like a couple of bad interceptions a game, and if you can avoid those, he's palatable, I think. And he didn't have any really, you know, bad interceptions. He played okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're looking for.
It reminds me of like Jay Cutler, but just with a Super Bowl ring. So
yeah, similar. Yeah, if Jay could have gone on a playoff run where he didn't throw an interception, exactly right.
And then to recap some of the games, I mean, we had the Chargers and the Chiefs. That was a Thursday night game. The Chiefs held them off, man. I predicted a similar score. I'm surprised that the Chargers ran flat in that second half and weren't able really to keep the scoring up.
Yeah, they did. They did kind of. They died down a little bit, and then Herbert got hurt. So yeah, I think that's going to be a tough division over there again. I think the Chiefs are playing good football, and obviously the Chargers are up and coming. They got a solid defense and obviously a really good offense when healthy. But I think that's going to be the battle at the top there in the West.
Yep, between those two teams.
Mm-hmm.
The other two teams, they're not looking good, man. Raiders took another L. Broncos barely won. I mean, I'm still not sold on these Broncos, man. I don't know if it's the coaching or I feel like they got too many weapons and such a good quarterback to not be putting up some points.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going on early on here. Definitely thought they would be doing that, but still early, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. Maybe they like we mentioned before, because a lot of these players didn't play the preseason.
Yep,
they're still kind of rusty these first 3 weeks. So
yeah.
Then we had another comeback game. We had the Dolphins and the Ravens. Freaking Lamar was killing them. Killed me in fantasy this week, bastard. But actually, he's on my other fantasy team, so he only wins. So I can't dog him too much. But we got to see Tua throw some long balls, man.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how they left Tyreek Hill that wide open, but hey, he's got the arm, so it's gonna be interesting to see how the season progresses between him and Tyreek and those other receivers like Waddle as well.
Yeah, they're definitely never out of a game with those two guys, and shame on Baltimore for letting him get that wide open that many times.
Oh yeah,
especially having I think they were up 24-3 and whatever it was, 35-14. That's a game you shouldn't lose, especially with the Harbaugh as a coach and the defense is, I would say it's okay. It's not their best defense they've ever had, but I think they got some good players over there. But yeah, Lamar played well, throwing and running, and the defense just kind of let them down at the end.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think it's great for the Dolphins. It gives them some momentum going forward in some of these other games. I guess people are going to have to respect Tua's long ball now, especially with Tyreek down there, because he's I feel like you got to have a safety over the top for him for that, or somebody missed their assignment on those two plays. So
yeah, no, I saw the one. It just looked like he outran them, and then another one that looked like it was just bad coverage where he thought there was safety help. But yeah, I'm with you. That's a guy that you can't let get. It's almost at that point, it's like throw two guys on him and figure out the rest.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the thing, you can't. I feel like you even can because Waddle, but
true
because he had I think he had the winning touchdown too, right? So
he did. Yep.
It's going to be hard to cover those two guys, especially when they're moving them around.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking forward to seeing them when they play like the Bills and some of these other teams. So
yeah, that should be like the game of the week this week. Bills Dolphins.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Then we had the Bengals and the Cowboys. Disappointed in the Bengals. They let the Cowboys beat them. I don't know. Maybe they got Super Bowl hangover, man. The offensive line looks shaky. I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, Burrow's on pace for double the number of sacks he took last year already, even though they, quote unquote, revamped that offensive line. That line just looks shaky right now, and I think that he's having to hurry. Guys aren't getting open, and I felt like the defense was fine. They only gave up 17 points.
Yeah,
give up 17 points and lose is tough.
Oh, it definitely is. They're gonna have to pick it up, especially if they want to keep pace with some of the other teams. Especially in the AFC, I feel like you can't get off to a slow start because it's going to hurt you in the long run when it comes time to figure out who's going to be the wild card teams, because you want to be in the best position possible when it comes to those games.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the Titans and the Bills. That was a little smoke show. Bills just put on the display. Titans are just, I won't say trash, man, but they're going to have to, they need receivers too. And I think they're going to have to switch that quarterback. I'm going to give another 4 weeks before that quarterback gets switched, man.
Yeah, it might not take that long until the Titans are in full rebuild mode. I think they got some good young players there, but yeah, I'd say it's almost time for Tannehill to go at this point. If you're not going to be a a playoff team, then I don't think there's any reason for him to be quarterbacking.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for Derrick Henry though, man.
Yeah, same, but he's also got some miles on him too. I mean, he doesn't look like he has that pop early on. And again, we talked about it last week. He usually hits his stride around week 8 or 9 when it gets harder to tackle him. But early on, he's kind of looked a little bit slow, and obviously coming off the foot injury and whatnot. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to kind of see how the next couple weeks rolls out and see what the Titans end up doing. And Vrabel's a good coach. I think he can make adjustments and figure out what to do. But yeah, they're reeling a little bit.
Oh yeah, but we're on the wait and see. I mean, the other team we had the Vikings and the Eagles. I mean, Eagles make light work of Vikings too, man. Those corners did a good job on the Vikings receivers and that Eagles defense. Man, your boy, he controlled the game, man. He was throwing the ball, running the ball, he was doing everything, man. He's looking like the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Yeah, he looked good. Like you said, he's not only is he doing it with his legs, but he's also he hit some nice throws, some big third down, second down, and long that he was hitting guys, which I think is where they struggled in the past, is when they got into these second, third, and long that they're basically dead. They knew he couldn't get the ball to them, so it was basically praying that they get a first down, but. On the other side, I felt like, you got your typical Kirk Cousins in prime time. I don't know if he didn't have time, but it just felt like he was just hucking the ball real fast and to nobody, because Jefferson was open. Like they showed some of these the routes that he was running. Yeah. He was open a lot. I mean, Kirk just couldn't get him the ball. Even at the end there, like they had him open in the back of the end zone a couple times, and he threw that interception to Slay where he missed Jefferson by about 8 yards.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He struggles in that prime time, and it was apparent on Monday night.
He didn't even throw the damn Thielen, man. Killing me. I mean, that's Vikings, one of those teams too. Despite the weapons they have on offense, it's going to be a long season for them as well. Mm-hmm. They need help. They need help on both sides of the ball, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like they can make a run and possibly sneak in as a wild card, but we're gonna have to wait and see how things play out for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the Bucks and the Saints game. Forgot about that one. Little fight broke out. Your boy Evans is suspended the game. I mean, I felt like it was I don't want to say unnecessary.
It was, I get he doesn't like Lattimore, obviously, and then Brady's talking crap, and Lattimore's getting involved where he probably doesn't need to be, and Evans is just, again, I think part of it was him backing up Tom, and then part of it is just he doesn't like the guy to begin with. But honestly, like, he didn't, when I first saw Brawl, I was like, oh, they must have been, throwing fists. He just shoved him.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Like, this is the NFL. Like, there's a lot worse things that happen in these games that people, and he got he got ejected, rightfully.
Yeah.
And that should have been it, right? He missed over half the game. I think that's where you call it. You give him a big fine, and that's it. I didn't think he needed to be suspended for another game.
Maybe they're trying to crack down on some stuff due to the Aaron Donald situation. Because even though he didn't get any fine or suspension, it was kind of caught on film. So maybe they don't want any the image. Yeah. They got to protect the shield. Cut some of that stuff out early. Show that they're not going to be tolerating any shenanigans this season. So people behave.
No, that makes sense. You don't want stuff to escalate, but I mean, from all, again, you had Aaron Donald in the preseason taking off guys' helmets and whacking them with it. Like, I know it's a preseason, but come on, he shoved a guy in midfield.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, definitely, we knew something was coming, whether it be a fine but I mean, we wasn't sure about a game, but hey, it's gonna be interesting to see as well because I mean, the Bucks are pretty much beat up on offense with all these weapons out. It's gonna be interesting to see if Tom Brady can pull them together for another win. So then we got the next week coming up, week 3. We have the Steelers and the Browns. I'm probably gonna roll with the Steelers in that one, even though they're Watt is out. I feel like they can pull together some wins. I think they can beat the teams that they can beat or should beat. I'm only worried about them when they play like some higher power teams that can put up some points against them.
Yeah, I think I like the Browns coming back off a loss and a bad loss, and I think they can control the flow of the game and let Brissett manage it and let Chubb and K Hunt do the work.
We have to wait and see as well. Then we have the battle of the winless teams. We got the Raiders and the Titans. I think this is a bounce back game for either team that wins to help them move in the right direction. You don't want to go down 0-3 at the start of the season.
Yeah, I like the Raiders in this one. I think Tennessee's in trouble. I think the Raiders can capitalize again, coming off a bad loss to the Cardinals. I think that they can get it together and put one on the win column.
Yeah, I think the Raiders just put up too much points for the Titans.
Yeah.
That's the one thing Tennessee hasn't had in a long time as a receiver. Well, not a long time. I mean, A.J. Brown last year, but they haven't had a high-powered offense in a long time.
Yeah.
The Bills and the Dolphins probably going to be one of the games of the week. Two undefeated teams, two high-powered offenses in the same division. I think we're going to see what Tua's made of this game, man.
Yeah, I like the Bills here. Until proven otherwise, they just looked so good in the in their first two games, offensively and defensively. Like you said, I think that they can put some pressure on Tua. I think their secondary is a little bit better. They can probably handle Hill. Hopefully, they can handle Hill a little bit better, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to stop somebody. You can't let Waddle and Hill get off.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a long day. Otherwise, it'll be a shootout. But I think the Bills are going to control the clock. They're going to mix it up with some running with Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen. I think he'll tuck the ball in and run a little bit. And then this Allen Diggs connection is getting pretty ridiculous, man.
I know. Yeah, they got something going.
It's crazy how one receiver can change a whole offense.
It's wild. And they even had so they had Gabe Davis out, and it didn't even look like the offense missed a beat.
They pulled him in the freaking quarter or whatever.
Yeah,
which was ridiculous. If I was going against him in fantasy, I would have been happy. But I mean, he still put up a lot of points.
Yeah,
I was like one pick away from him too. I mean, we got the Eagles and the Commanders. I kind of like. I think that's going to be a good game. I kind of like what I'm seeing from the Commanders. Offensively, they've been good. Defensively, they picking it up. But I mean, they got the pieces in place to win this game, man.
They do, but I feel like they'll get down early, and then it'll be similar to the game against Detroit, where they're just pretty much trying to catch up the whole game. And then, Wentz will throw the ball, 45, 50 times. And again, they're passing a lot, which is, they've been okay with passing the ball. It's just, I don't think their defense has really helped them out in the first few games here.
No, I don't mind them passing. Just throw the dots in, man. That's it. But I mean, like you said, man, they got the weapons on offense. It's just up to the quarterback to manage it all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's going to put them in some bad positions, especially when the defense is not getting them the ball back compared to how that defense was stomping through people about 2 years ago.
Right.
And then we got the Ravens and the Patriots. That should be an interesting game. Both teams are looking to build some momentum. I mean, the Ravens are pretty much good, but I pretty much think the Ravens are going to roll through the Patriots. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Bill was able to sneak this win out. I mean, the Patriots haven't been playing bad, but they also haven't been playing good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they were, basically it was a muffed punt and then a 50-50 ball that Aguilar grabbed over a defender, and that was how they won that game. I wouldn't, like I said, I think you're right. I wouldn't say they played great. I think that their defense kept them in the game, and their offense did just enough to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their offense is going to have to pick it up. But that's the thing. They need weapons, man. They really don't have I feel like they don't have a one or two receiver. They just got a bunch of guys. Mm-hmm. Well, who knows? Maybe they try to make a midseason acquisition to put them over the top. But that's going to be the one thing that's holding them back.
Yeah, totally agree.
Then we got the Rams and the Cardinals. That should be a good game. Both teams looking to bounce back and take over the division. Pretty much going to roll with the Rams on this one. I still don't believe in the Cardinals, man.
I don't either. It took that miracle for them to beat the Raiders. I just don't. I'm not sure. I believe in Cliff Kingsbury as a coach. I think that his shtick is kind of wearing a little thin, and I just don't know what Kyler Murray is at this point. I mean, obviously he's definitely he's clutch down the stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting them to win that game, but Yeah, I'm with you. I think that it's like the Rams. I think they're just too stacked top to bottom, and when they're playing well, they're going to be tough to beat.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. Maybe when Hopkins comes back, it makes a difference. But
Yeah, it probably does. I think that they're hurting without Hopkins, obviously, and they got some other receivers out. But Marquise Brown is I think he's a good number 2. He can't be your number 1.
no. But as I said, maybe when Hopkins comes back, it opens things up for everybody.
Right.
Because he's the number 1 receiver, and it's not like he's injured. I mean, he's ready to play, but he's suspended due to the substance abuse. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens when he comes back as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the 49ers and the Broncos. That should be a good game. I don't know, man. I'm rolling with the Jimmy G right now, man. I feel like he's gonna get his team back up into the talks of one of the top teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I'm rolling with you, man. I'm with you. I never thought it was the right move to go to Trey Lance. Unproven. Obviously, the 49ers wanted to make the move, and I guess I understand it. But at the same time, I felt like Jimmy G could probably get you back into the NFC Championship.
Yeah, but also you can't blame the team. I mean, you draft the quarterback high.
No. I don't blame them at all. I'm just I think that they could have probably waited another year.
I don't know, man. I feel like in today's NFL, you can't really have a quarterback sitting on your bench that long.
Yeah.
Outside of Jordan Love, but I mean, he's probably not going to see the light of day as a starter. But especially when you draft him that high, you got to see what he's made of. So
Sure.
I mean, they tried, but he got hurt, and it seemed like the offensive line played better when Jimmy G was out there, which was kind of funny. But I mean, we're gonna have to wait to see how things pan out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your Bengals and your Jets. You think your Jets can sneak this one by?
I sure hope so. I mean, I hate that the Bengals are 0-2 coming into the game. Probably a little fired up. So, but I think that the Jets also have some momentum coming into this game, and I think it's probably a field goal game, but probably leaning Bengals here.
Yeah, I feel like this is a right place, wrong time type of game for the Jets. I think the Bengals take this game super serious and you just come out on fire. But I mean, you never know. I mean, if you guys can get to Burrow, because that offensive line is a little shaky.
Exactly.
It could also be a long day for the Bengals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Cowboys and the Giants. That should be an interesting game. I mean, the Cowboys don't have their starting quarterback, so it's going to be interesting to see how close of a game or how lopsided the game is. But I think Dayball's going to do a good job preparing the team for the Cowboys and some of their weapons. Not that they have many. Simple fact that they're not really running the ball with Zeke. Seems like everything's going through Tony Pollard right now, and we just got to worry about that defense. Worry about number 11. Make sure he's being blocked. But ultimately, they can run the ball on him, and that'll cause them to get picked up early on blocks and kind of make him hesitant as far as what he does.
Yep.
Am I playing you in fantasy this week?
Yeah. Yep. You are.
Oh, snap. We got the fantasy matchup this week. I don't know what's going on with my receivers, but somebody have to come through, man. I mean, Michael Thomas is playing good. Olave has been getting a lot of targets, but he needs to get more points. Dotson's been good. He was a nice little pickup. But everybody else, man, suspect, man.
Must have been all those mock drafts.
Not even that. Like, they're not throwing the pits. I knew I should have never took Derrick Henry, even though he slipped all the way to me at like 8. I just knew it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's easy now to say that. If he got off to a hot start like he did last year, you would have been like, oh, shit, I can't believe I grabbed him at 8.
Yeah, man, but, man, my gut feeling was like, don't pick him.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I don't pick him, there's not going to be much running backs. And, like, ETN's not getting the ball really to, like, the second half. So it's killing me, man.
Yeah.
But something's got to change, so.
Yep. Yeah, I thought ETN would get some more play, but it looks like they've been all James Robinson.
Yeah. Maybe we get a James Robinson injury to turn things around.
Not this week, though.
Maybe next week then.
Yeah, there you go.
Then on to the NBA. Not too much here. It looks like the Suns are for sale right now. I'm gonna be interested to see how much the team sells for, and who they get to buy the team. So.
Yeah, it's pretty. It sounds like it's a pretty desirable franchise to own. Obviously, couple of good teams with the Mercury and the Suns. I don't know. I feel like it's always one of those teams that, even though they're in the West, it's always like, the Suns are always a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they got solid fans, great jerseys, great location. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with them.
No.
It's not like they're really a small market team, so to say. I mean, they got players on the team that want to win. They got a good coach, so I mean, they got pieces in place. They just need to. They just got to put it together. They've been there. They just got to get over that hump. But it's gonna be interesting to see who buys the team and who, if any, minorities become an owner as far as trying to get the team. So
yeah, it needs to happen.
But I mean, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
And then not too much else in the NBA.
Nope,
I know.
Getting ready for preseason.
Yeah, it's freaking a month away. Well, less than a month. The preseason's the 30th.
Yeah.
And then the season starts on the 18th. So, I mean, it's going to be right there. Basketball is going to be upon us.
Yep.
I mean, speaking of basketball, the Aces, they win the WNBA championship. Your girl Becky Hammond wins a chip first year. Like we mentioned before, man, I'm really interested to see how many teams go out. And then if she's willing to make that jump, despite not getting the job last year.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if she gets any play from that. I'd be surprised if she jumped, but at least jumped this year. But maybe next couple of years, what does she get for interest from NBA squads?
Yeah, and that's what I wonder. I feel like it's like a pride thing. Like if y'all didn't want me before, but now y'all want me now. Even they're gonna be throwing money at her, man. Somebody is. So.
Yeah, true. I mean, but now she's proven herself to be a championship level coach. I think sometimes that happens where you see assistants go to college, they do some stuff in college, and they jump back into the NBA. So maybe it's something similar to that. I do, probably she probably has. Again, we don't know what the interview processes were like, or if she got any calls or whatever. But did was she slighted because of her experience, or what was it?
Mm-hmm.
And does she have any resentment against that?
Oh yeah. And then also the opportunities as well. Because I mean, there could be NBA teams calling, but it could be a crappy location where you don't even want to do it. So, and then on to MLB, your boy Judge. It's the walk-off grand slam the other night at 60 now. It was like he needs two more to be all-time Yankees home run leader. Pretty much looks like he's going to be wrapping up the Triple Crown as well. So keeping the Yankees afloat. I wish I would have bet more money on that game, but hey.
Yeah, he's the talk of the town right now. Obviously, leading in the Triple Crown race here, leading all three categories. 60 homers. My guess is he probably gets to 61 or 62 by the end of the weekend, and then it's all gravy from there. But he took a big bet on himself this year, and it's going to pay off, and hopefully that they can ride this into into a deep playoff run, right? I think he's been saying it all year. Obviously he cares about the home run stuff, but he really wants to win, and that's why he's here.
Yep. I mean, everything's going right for him. He's about to get a huge payday. Well deserved. I'm looking forward to it. And I just hope he can, stay hot in the playoffs as well.
Yep.
Even though baseball's a little different, one player can't really take you to the promised land, but maybe his aurora rubs off on some people, and
right.
Gets them playing at a higher level.
Exactly.
Then on the other side, same thing. Dodgers still best team in baseball. Mets and Braves are right there. We just count down the days until the playoffs begin, man.
I know. I love when playoff baseball starts, and it's a little later this year. I think it's like October 5th or something. But yeah, it's this is like the time where you're like, can we just like fast forward a couple weeks and get there? When it's basically, I would say for the most part, a lot of these are wrapped up. I think there's he said the East is a race, but both those teams are going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Central, bit of a race there between Milwaukee and St. Louis. So yeah, I'm all for let's go fast forward to the beginning of October and get this thing moving.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just because it's more entertaining.
It is. It is. I feel like playoff baseball, you're living and dying with every pitch. When it's regular season, it's kind of like, yeah, it's more casual, I would say. Maybe not for the players, but for the fans.
Yeah, you can feel the difference in the game. Like when it comes to the playoff baseball compared to the regular season. So definitely looking forward to seeing how things shake out. Then all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so tonight we got a buffalo chicken baked potato.
Okay.
So pretty easy weeknight meal, healthy-ish meal. So with the chicken, all I did was salt and pepper, put it in a pan, a pot with a cover. Let it fry up on higher heat for like a minute or two on the side, and then filled the pot with buffalo sauce and covered it, and just kind of let it simmer for almost probably an hour and a half or so, and then shredded it up, turned off the heat, shredded it up, and mixed all the sauce in together, and that was ready to go. For the potatoes, I like to do a crispy skin, so I just take a russet potato, do a little bit of oil on the outside of the skin, and then some coarse sea salt on there, and just put it in the oven at like 400 degrees for like 90 minutes. And the skin comes out really crispy, and you have a nice, good potato in there. So really all I did is just, slice open the potato, put a little bit of butter on the potato, chicken, filled it with buffalo chicken, tossed a little bit of cheddar cheese. I did a little bit of blue cheese in there too, because you can't go wrong there.
Oh yeah.
And then topped it with some scallions, and it was actually came out really good.
That sounds good, man.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with like a buffalo chicken or like a buffalo type dip. I used to do that with I never done that on the baked potato, but I've done like the stuff like potato with like seafood.
Yeah.
Where I'll do like shrimp and bacon or like scallops and bacon, something like that. But that definitely sounds good, man.
Yeah, it was tasty.
And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
So today, brewery in Charlotte called Legion Brewing. It's in the South Park area of Charlotte. They had a their version of the Oktoberfest beer. So again, still the Marzen style that we talked about last week, but this one was called Oktoberfest. So basically, they take their beer and they age it on oak barrels. Condition it in oak barrel. So a couple days in oak barrel, and then you got your Marzen Oktoberfest beer. I've had these before. It really is dependent on the barrel that you get and what flavor you pull out and how long you leave it in there, right? So I think that they did it well. It was subtle. It wasn't overpowering. I'd say the base beer was only okay though. To me, it was maybe lacking a little bit of flavor that I like to get from that Marzen style. But still good, it's still a solid, Oktoberfest beer. But I would give it, I'd probably give it a 7.1.
No, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, it's all right.
For a second, when you started mentioning when you mentioned the name of it, and you said oak, I was like, oh, is he about to tell me they about to put oat milk in beer?
No, God no.
I was about to say.
Nope. Although I wouldn't be surprised. They do have oat-based IPAs. Treehouse makes a couple that I know of. Okay. Yeah. Might have to give those a look. Instead of using the grain, they use oats as to extract the sugar from when they boil.
Oh, gotcha. I feel like it's going to be a matter of time before we get that rolls up for the how coffee is made rolls over into the beer.
Oh, wait till next week's. I got a good one. It's a latte IPA. We'll get into that. That was interesting.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. I was too shocked to do it this week, and I already had my beer picked out. So we'll get into that one next week.
I feel like it was good though. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll see.
And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week, not too much for the BRRs. Still finishing up some shows. We got still watching C. Mentioned before, great show. Check it out. Checked out the documentary Sins of the Mother. I think that's what it's called, right? The one on Netflix. I actually seen the 2020 before, or maybe a few months ago. About it, but I mean the Netflix documentary was great because it went into detail about certain stuff that they didn't cover in the 2020, and actually found out the son of it all, he got arrested for like child pornography or something like that.
Oh my gosh, no, he
which
didn't.
is crazy. Which is crazy. The whole situation is crazy. It's just crazy how what people do it's like no words for what she did, but.
And she clearly had no remorse
Remorse,
whatsoever.
yeah, which was crazy. The guy was hilarious too when they showed his chart of how he rates people.
Oh, yeah.
This person's like a 2L, like a level 2 light person. This person's like a 4D person, a 4 devil person.
So anyone you don't like, just give them a 4D score, and then it's okay if you kill them.
Yep, and then it's crazy how the ex-husband before was trying to tell people she's crazy and something's wrong with her, and nobody's believing him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he got shot. Then the brother got killed. It was just a lot.
Yeah, the ex-husband was the one I probably felt the worst for, other than the kids, obviously, because I felt like he just was he's trying to do the right thing. He raised these kids that weren't his, and and then she kind of went off the deep end, and whatever was going on in his life at the time, tough to tell because she was such a crazy person that it's hard to, and he's just trying to go pick up his kid and bring him to school.
Oh yeah, and then the after he died, when she sent his kids the text.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, could you imagine that?
And they're like, what happened? And then and it was crazy, all the different excuses she was using to tell people how he died. She told them he had a heart attack. And then other people, she said he passed away. And then come to find out he got shot. And then I thought it was funny when they played the insurance call. She called the insurance company. And she said she was the beneficiary. And they're like, oh, no, he changed it a month before.
Yeah. He's no dummy.
It was $1 million policy, too.
Yeah, it was crazy. She, the phone calls and the texts oh, it's all right. I'll still get his $4,000 in Social Security.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah, madness.
But definitely a good documentary to check out if you haven't heard about the story. Don't want to give it away, but definitely if you like documentaries, check that out. Then we had the House of Dragon, man. They're going, man.
They're going. We're getting the jump.
Yep. Looks like we're going to get the bigger jump soon. Hopefully next episode. The way these things are going. We got what they call the one in Game of Thrones. It was what the Mad Wedding or whatever it's called.
What'd they call it? Was that what they called it? The Mad Wedding?
The Bloody Wedding or something like that?
What, the one in Game of Thrones? The original? Yeah. It was Red Wedding. Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding? Okay, we got an Orange Wedding. This episode, only one person died. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of funny, but just because the situation, how she had a side piece, and the husband that she married had a side piece.
Yeah.
It was just a lot going on, man. And then the conversation with the brother and the wife he killed that he was supposed to wed, I thought that was funny too.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I mean, we're going, man. We're getting some good stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the brother now, since he doesn't have a wife, to see if they'll try to wed him to somebody else, and then the marriage between the daughter and the Valerian.
Yeah. Yep. They had it was I think some people were saying it was a slow episode. I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think about halfway through that ceremony, you could tell that something was going to go down. It was a matter of who, right? I didn't necessarily see, that Christian exploding on that guy.
Yeah.
But, I think the guy probably set him off when he walked over to him and was like, whispering in his ear and all that nonsense. So.
Yeah, I also felt like they brought it upon themselves. They should have just left it. I think they should have just held that secret in their back pocket for like when they needed it. There's no need for them to give it out right away, especially with the controversy going around that she slept with the brother. So
yeah,
and then also the deal that the king made with the Valerians as far as we said
the kids' names and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That seemed like a little strange part to me too. I think why was Corliss so concerned about the last name? And I guess the king probably had already thought about that, and that's why he was like, yeah, they can keep their last name until they ascend to the throne. At which point they have to change their name, or whoever does ascend to the throne changes.
Well, yeah, maybe they looked at it as that's their way of getting rid of keeping their name alive as far as the dominant heir, so to say. So
yeah,
but I mean, everybody's playing chess. I'm looking forward to seeing what else happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside of that, it wasn't really much else. I watched that little Love Is Blind after the altar. It was maybe 3 episodes. They showed everybody that was like after pretty much the marriage, so to say. But everybody's divorced from what I've seen. The girl that liked Shane, she's supposed to be getting married to some random guy, and then everybody else is separated, man.
Everyone's separating?
Yeah, man. All the other couples separated. I mean, during the show they're together, but
yeah,
not
surprising on those shows, though.
Yeah, but I didn't really like the second. Yeah, I didn't really like the second season compared to the first. I didn't feel like there was a lot of genuine couples in the second one compared to the first. But I mean, if they bring another season back, I'll definitely be checking it out. So.
Yeah, it's good. It's enjoyable television for what it is.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Then there wasn't much too much else I got a chance to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned the horror show on Netflix. I wanted to check that out, and then I got to catch up on the Rings of Power. But I feel like I'm gonna wait and just binge it to get the full story so it can make sense to me. I got to catch up on She-Hulk. We got Abbott's Elementary coming back today. Definitely check that out. Trying to think what else. Wasn't really too much else, man. So I got to catch up on Mike.
Yeah, we started the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary.
Oh, it was on Netflix or?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't see that. I know The Handmaid's Tale is back, but I didn't even really start that. So
yeah, I think I cut it after last season. It was too much for me. Too slow.
Yeah, I didn't get start the first season. So
yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff out there I got to check out. So just got to get the chance to do it between football and everything else. I think that's it, man.
That's all I got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.
you.